All right, welcome everybody. Sorry, we had a little bit of technical difficulties getting started, but we're joining this race in progress. You'll see Ninban on the left versus literallyJenn on the right. They've both cleared out Pendant Eastern, which had a progressive glove on the boss and the Moon Pearl within it. And I'm Mercer. I'm joined today on comms by Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. How are you today?
Doing good. Better now that the system should be functioning.
Yeah, it's good to see. But yeah, so Ninban has just cleared Tower of Hera. It looks like literallyJenn is heading that direction. The tracker should be up to date for what all they have. I'm not going to necessarily try and go over where all of it was, but that's your Spear 1 checks plus Eastern Palace.
Oh, no, that was not fun. It looks like the small key was on our wonderful troll dorm, and there's something down here that we're needing.
Yeah, the early game for these seeds can be kind of interesting. In this case, having to do a pendant dungeon basically right away for 2 of our pieces for Dark World access.
At least it was an easy dungeon, you know? Eastern is, like, super simplistic.
Yes, especially the bow, rather, was in Sahasrara's closet, so right on the way. Our runners both also have the boots. They were in the maze race in Kakariko, and the hammer was on the bottle merchant.
Man, this is a generous seed so far, getting boots early. Oh, that just makes everything better. Ooh, the flute, that's why. Okay, that makes a lot more sense as to why he's wasting the time to go down here. It's not actually a waste this time around.
Yeah, the flute is not just nice for getting around, but since Myra is a crystal, it is completely required.
Yeah, semantics. I gotta say, though, I appreciate seeds that give us boots and flute early, especially mirror, because that just makes everything so much easier to get around. Not have to worry about doing weird routing, you just set it up and then lay down the dominoes.
Yeah, they also got a Master Sword pretty early as well. I believe those were... I know one of them was at the dam. I think the other was in Eastern.
I mean, aside from hearts, these guys are pretty much set for Ganon. They just need to go ahead and find the other items to, get to them.
And as I say, how generous it's been with the Master Sword, Ninban pulls the Tempered Sword out of Paradox Cave.
I'm a bit of a wuss when it comes to weaponry. I absolutely loathe Silverless Ganon. I can do it, but if I have silvers or if I have tempered, oh, it's just perfect.
Yeah, I definitely would prefer one or the other, or preferably both. Fire Rod also in Paradox Cave for Ninban. That's going to be required this seed for both Skullwoods and Turtle Rock.
And it's just fun to set things on fire.
Jen taking on Moldorm. She's getting bullied a little bit there, but manages to avoid a fall. Moldorm not playing nice, but Jen shows patience and gets the kill.
That's the key to this stuff. It's all about patience. Don't try to rush it. Now, I gotta say, even though Ninban does have a bit of a lead on Jin here, The fact that she's just got the 3 hearts means that she decided not to take the time to head over and grab some more of those hearts. She's got to be real careful on what kind of enemy she runs into, because most of the stuff here can kill her in 2 shots.
It does at least have the blue mail, but still you don't want to take deaths, as we see Ninban pulling the hook shot out of the village of outcasts bombable hut there. I think that's the brewery in the spoiler log.
Yuppers. Normally housing $300, and today it's a hookshot. Looks like Thieves Town. Yep, Thieves Town's compass chest had our big key today.
Yeah, you can save a little bit of time by knowing where the big key is in the front of Thieves if there's nothing else worth grabbing. It's not like Mire where you can save a ton of time if it's a chest you would normally check late, but it's still nice to have.
Yeah, nothing's worse than having to go through the entire Mire sequence just to find the big key, and it's been a little occasion.
And for those who are watching who may not be familiar with this format, the runners were given 15 minutes before the race started with the spoiler log, which is just a giant text dump of all the locations and all the items and some other miscellaneous information like what's on tree pulls. They had that time to construct a route, and you see the results now. They are now trying to finish that as quickly as they can. And this format tends to lend itself to very low percentage boss fights, very execution heavy, but it's also very possible if you do the routing wrong to leave out an important step and find yourself going into a dungeon and realizing that you're missing something you need for that dungeon.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because this is actually intriguing on Jenn's side. When she was in Paradox, we noticed that she picked up the book, but Ninban didn't. So either Jenn is going to go ahead and grab an item that's not useful off of one of these tablets, or Ninban completely forgot about it.
We do see Jenn going back for that park container that's in library. That is one Ninban grabbed earlier.
It also looked like red mail was really easily accessible, so I doubt the damage is going to be much of an issue this time around.
Yeah, at least for certain classes of damage, there's a lot of environmental damage that does not care about your armor, as we find Titan's Mitts on Blind.
It does explain why we were doing another pendant dungeon boss.
Yeah, 2 pendant dungeon bosses had our 2 glove upgrades in Eastern and Thieves Town. I do see someone in chat asking about the sprites here. One of the features of the randomizer is that you can select, either the vanilla Link sprites set, or there's a couple hundred other options that various creators in the community have made that are awesome, and you get to use one that you like.
Yeah, shoutouts to the whole community for making this happen. The freaking sprites are awesome.
Yeah, I love a lot of them. I always use the same one because I learned a couple of the bomb jumps with that sprite, and so can no longer use anything else.
Same here.
Find the Cane of Burna in the chest game.
Definitely a good safety item to have on hand. I mean, when you're doing this kind of spoiler log run, most of the time you don't really stop to think, okay, I'm good enough to avoid damage from enemies, but what about most of the terrain damage? So like crystal rollers and spikes, those do a set amount of damage, and it could be pretty hazardous to get through most of them if you don't have anything like the Can of Burner or the Cape.
Yeah, absolutely. The also, you just see people sometimes like doing strategies where they're intentionally taking damage because they're used to having much higher health pools in a normal randomizer seed. That like there's a spike room in GT where it's much faster to just walk across the spikes. But if you only have 6 hearts, it's a bad idea right before the gauntlet.
Yeah, very, very true. You don't want to end up heading up there and then finding out that, oh wait, I've only got 2 hearts. I'm going to be introduced to a spike here soon. Now we've got Ninban finished with the second crystal dungeon, 4 down, and hopefully no more pendant dungeons to worry about. Since he's not heading over to Ice Palace, I doubt that's actually going to be an issue for now. But Pod is up on the table here, so we're going to see what we got to do, unless it's just a, crystal run.
Yeah, even if Pod doesn't have any necessary items in it, the quantity of items there mean it's very likely that there'll be a heart container or some other valuable safety like powder in there.
Oh, true. That's right. They don't have powder yet, and that's definitely a blessing in disguise. Most games you would see like people just getting upset that they had to go out of their way for something like powder or mushroom because it's a fetch quest in normal situations. But again, when you're in this low percent type of mindset, powder can be that last minute save from certain death.
Yeah, it's not counting weapons because weapons aren't really just a safety; they speed you up as well. Um, you know, armors are pretty universally considered the strongest safety in this. I think powder is just behind them. But we did have a required item in Pod after all, as Ninban grabs the Cane of Samaria.
Ooh, definitely a good find right there. With that cane, we'll be able to go ahead and do some fun little stuff. If we need to go into Ice Palace, we can do the Icebreaker. And I assume Ninban knows how to do the Diver Down, so we'll most likely see that too.
Yeah, I would think so. It also is just nice within Pod. It'll save you, a solid 3 seconds of pushing the statue. Jen saving and quitting out rather than picking up the crystal, that is actually going to save some time versus grabbing it. Assuming they don't need Sasrala or Master Sword pedestal, but clearly Jen does not think they will. And given that they have the spoiler, probably correct. So that's a nice play. It'll save, a good 15 seconds of fanfare.
Ooh, Ninban giving us a really cool glitch that was discovered. I can't remember the name of it, but it has something to do with doors.
Yeah, it's remarkable the pace at which glitches are still being discovered for this, nearly 30-year-old game.
Hey, never underestimate a nerd.
And Jen joining Ninban in Palace of Darkness. The routes, after kind of the initial item collection, have been very similar.
Although Jen is actually a dungeon behind, not going to Skull Woods to take down Mothula. But that is a quick fight, especially with Tempered Sword, so I wouldn't say it's a huge amount of time lost.
Yeah, and there weren't really any items there, it's just getting the crystal.
And unless we got something on Helmasaur, I think we're pretty much wrapped up for Pod. So we ended up getting a heart container, Kinesmara, and it looks like that was it.
Jen gets the full dash down that corridor. Very nice.
Yeah, it's always nice to get that dash without hitting any of those blocks, and just time it right to kind of bounce off of one of them without any damage.
And Ninban heading in to take on Helmasaur King.
Should be an easy fight with that Tempered Sword.
Yeah, red mail and plenty of health, so no worries about taking a errant tail to the face.
Oh no, my only weakness, a giant gem on my forehead.
And let's see where Ninban heads next.
Well, we still need those flippers. Let's see, we got flippers, we got ice rod, we got ether and quake. Ooh, we are definitely going to go ahead and see the mire area real quick here.
Curse you, how could you ever think to find the key that I placed cleverly 6 feet away from the entrance?
Rando, you silly.
Ninban heading into the probably execution heaviest room in Mire. Nicely done. Jen taking on her Helmasaur fight.
taking a little bit of a safer strategy by holding that sword out. Takes a little bit more time, but better not to die.
Gets the, all-important 20 rupees and also that crystal.
Way more importantly, that 20 rupee. Yeah, Ninban's got to be real careful with those fire rod shots. Having no bottles as a backup. Oof. Can be dangerous.
Yeah, does get the big key out of that. I think that's the vanilla compass chest. I'm not 100% sure between compass and app.
I know one is the compass chest, and then the other one, the map chest, I think, is the one that's near the blue spikes?
That might be correct. I am very bad at remembering which is which. But proceeds through here. Grabs that full magic refill that's on the way to Vitreous, which is very nice.
Ooh, this is a nice little bit of divergence. Jin is actually popping into desert first. It doesn't look like there's anything necessary in here, because that was a real quick mirror.
And Ninban went for the spooky action glitch. Must have disarmed it at some point and wasn't able to get it working. Ooh, and there's our flippers in Checkerboard Cave.
Very nice. We're down to just one medallion and the ice rod. Oh, that's a wise decision. Ninban playing it a little safer instead of going with the damage boost strats because A, no safety items, and B, he's only got 2 hearts.
It needs to be a little careful here, but seems to be controlling his eyeballs okay.
Always remember to control your eyeballs, kids.
Yeah, unfortunately, once you get down to just 1 or 2 of them, the lightning spam gets real. But gets through that safely, and then it's easy to just finish off the eyeballs with arrows, although he switches to the sword for the last couple of hits. So I'm guessing we'll see Ninban enter Desert as well, right after Jenn, and then Jenn will probably do Mire after Desert. So there's Jenn's 3rd crystal. Ninban currently sitting on 4. And yeah, we do see Ninban heading over towards Desert. Jenn is going to do Mire, so just trading off dungeons here. So while they're just kind of doing what the other just did, give both of our runners here a follow. Ninban, literallyJenn, putting on a show for us this morning. Or at least morning for me. Not totally sure what time zone it is for them. To answer a question in chat, they both actually fault blind to grab the mitts. Jen Saban quit out without getting the pendant, which is why she's not marked as having the pendant. So Ninban heading into Land Mollis. Using just the sword to take it down, but doesn't take too long. I think that was a 3 cycle. Now Jen heading towards the back of Misery Mire. It's like Ninban heading for Swamp. Really the only thing that makes sense because you'll route Turtle Rock in. With the Ganon's Tower climb. Does still need to get Ice Rod wherever it may be. But obviously he knows where that is. Oh, I'm gonna open up Hype Cave here. Oh, there's Ice Rod. Right on the helpful Hype Cave NPC. We'll also need to grab Ether, actually. Jen putting that Cane of Burning picked up earlier to work. This is actually going to result in a much quicker Vitreous fight. As she's able to stand there with impunity. So that's going to make for a nice time save over Ninban's version of the fight, where he had to be a little cautious with the eyeballs. Okay, it looks like Jen is also going to head into Swamp. Does still also have to do Skullwoods before the Turtle Rock and GT climbs. We'll see if Ninban goes for a diver down glitch. Does look like he will be. And gets to just, walk through water. Certainly grabbing some arrow refills as he moves through swamp.
All right, what'd I miss?
So both our owners are in swamp now. They traded dungeons between Mire and desert. So really just the gap is a little bit of swamp here as Jen is entering with Ninban on Argus, and then Jen also needs to do Skullwoods.
Nice. I saw that we picked up Ice Rod. Where was that puppy?
The Hype Cave NPC had it. Neither of them even bothered going into the back 4 chests, just grabbed that from the man up front.
That's nice. You don't have to waste a bomb, at least.
There's Ninban's 6th crystal. Does not have ether. We'll have to pick that up before going into Turtle Rock for the 7th crystal.
Maybe we'll have 2 for 2 and end up having ether like in Super Bunny Cave or Hookshot Cave.
Also worth mentioning, Argus had our last sword upgrade. None of the other 3 were really out of the way, and Swamp was rather late, so Ninban and both our runners, in fact, had decided to grab Tempered, even though the Tempered to Butter upgrade is kind of mediocre at best.
But that butter sword is just so shiny.
I mean, I like it because I'm bad at doing the Ganon fight, and it makes the early phases a lot easier. It's not faster if you're good enough, but I'm not. Jen manages to overcome muscle memory and not pick up the 3 bombs in the chest in that waterfall room. It's very easy to grab that, even if it's nothing. Just by sheer force of habit.
Kudos to her, because I was thinking that. I was like, oh, gotta pick up the chest. Oh, wait.
Well, let's see where Ninban heads. Clearly it's somewhere on Dark Death Mountain. Going into Hookshot Cave.
Hey!
Yep, there it is. And now in go mode. Would be nice to grab silvers somewhere, but
Oh, yeah, well, hopefully we'll have silvers in Turtle Rock. That'd be nice and convenient.
yeah, or in GT along the way to the big key.
Like in the last chest, maybe? That would be fun. I mean, completely pointless, because that would just make the gauntlet a whole lot easier, but what's a better haha than finding the silvers post-Moldorm?
Still speeds up your Ganon. And Jen heading up to Skull Woods now. This is actually a very quick dungeon to just go in and kill if all you need is the crystal, but it's still time Ninban had already invested.
And thankfully it's a super quick run, so won't be an issue.
Nice heart container there. Getting up to a respectable amount of health in this seed. Sometimes you'll see spoiler races where the runners are only like 6 or 7 hearts at the end, and this one hasn't been quite that cruel.
Almost a double-digit hearts? What kind of spoiler race is this? I demand a do-over. This is too easy.
Well, that's okay. The bot has to roll a nice one every once in a while, or else it no longer becomes a surprise when it rolls something awful.
That's fair. It will be intriguing to see where Ninban goes for this one. We already saw the big key pickup, so hopefully he's just going to go ahead and steal the small key here?
Yeah, you would assume that's what's coming. Unless there's something really nice in that middle chest, but unless it's silvers, I think would be the only thing worth it.
Oh, that's adorable. I've never seen the Dark World sprite for Vivian. Oh.
I haven't played Thousand Year Door, so I don't actually recognize the character.
I can't remember the name of them, but it's from one of the tree thing. You have to escort like 100 of those little dudes around. It's super adorable.
Jen takes down Mothula, gets her 6th crystal. Yeah, looks like Ninban's gonna have to grab a key from Laser Bridge. That's alright though. Does need to be a little cautious. No bottles, so, takes too much damage here, he's gonna die.
Yeah, you do want to be extra careful.
And does actually stop off for a couple of heart refills there.
Very smart idea.
We'll see if he takes the safety door or not. I would assume so, since he'll be doing laser skips as well.
Oof, those freaking falling cabbages, man.
But I assumed wrong. Ninban just gonna go for it.
Ninban proving us all wrong, but stopping to get... Oh, okay.
Well, it wasn't a 4th one, though. I was like, is he gonna get a refill right here? Because that would be pretty great.
Oh yeah, that would have been awesome. Unfortunately, that was not the case. I like that setup, though. I'm used to doing the cane dash for the snazziness of it. But that's a really good setup.
Still, it does have 5 hearts coming into Trinex. Should be fine.
Ooh, can he get the 0 cycle? Was that fast enough? Just barely.
It's very tight to get that. It's only possible
yeah.
with the Butter Sword. It's the one fight where the Butter Sword inarguably saves time. But it is not trivial.
And unfortunately, since this is spoiler log, we're fairly certain Ninban's going to find the GT Big Key pretty quickly. But we'll go ahead and play a different sort of game. Take a guess as to where the location of the Big Key will be.
Yeah, I had a chance to look earlier. I don't actually remember where it was, but I still won't take a guess.
I didn't even bother looking at the spoiler log, so I'm gonna guess Rando Room top right. Alright, we're going to the right side. Ooh. Let's see what we got.
Have
Oh,
magic. Not going to say no to that, especially with no bottles.
heck yeah, that makes it super convenient. I have a feeling that anyone that guessed compass room or tile room is going to be SOL, unfortunately.
Yep, and it doesn't look like we're going by the Stalfos room either.
So Dark Magician room is negatory. Ooh, wait, what's in here? Oh, that's a rare one. It's been a while since I've seen Big Key in there. What is that, the fire bar room?
Is it? I don't remember. I think so.
Yeah, because the other one's the fire snake, so...
I think that's the map in the log, according to our tracker.
Ah, yep.
Again, I've proven repeatedly that I do not know the vanilla locations of the maps and compasses.
Well, good guess to Link 8 for guessing the fire bar chest. Kudos to you, sir. Or madam.
And then man will start the climb up the gauntlet. May stop by the refill room first. We'll see here in a second.
That would be a wise idea.
Yeah, pulling out a bomb definitely going to be taking the break. This being a spoiler log tournament, one thing that is different about this from most weeks is the runners are allowed to watch the restream. I do not know if Ninban is, but if so, would it be aware that he has a lead, and the sort of thing that would cause that lead to be surmounted would be dying, most of the way up to GT. So that would encourage him to take that safety room.
I mean, nobody likes dying, so it's definitely a good idea. Speaking of dying, Jenn's gotta be uber careful here.
It does get a heart refill, but is bypassing going outside. So we'll see if she checks the safety door at the south of Laser Bridge or not. Ninban chose not to.
Very clean Moldorm, or not Moldorm, Landmo fight. I know my worms.
So we do see Jenn making that same pit stop in the Turtle Rock Dark Room for those heart pieces, or not pieces, but refills. Pulling out bomb does look like Jenn is going to take the safety exit.
It's a wise thing.
Yeah, I definitely do not blame her for this. It is a long walk back if you die. Ooh, she does get the
Hey!
refill there. Nice. And Ninban had earlier, I think, set up to get that refill right there at the top of GT. That was very nice.
I
so
loved seeing that.
Go out of the way to pick up that same heart piece on Laser Bridge.
Dang, now I'm kind of sad that we didn't get to see Silvers. Whoops!
Yeah, I thought we might from where they were, but neither of our runners opted to pick them up.
Were they in GT?
No, or I wouldn't spoil it, but at this point, they were on Catfish.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, that's kind of out of the way.
Yeah,
But
I
then
wasn't
again,
sure if they would dash up there. They did have boots when they were doing pod, but when they
yeah.
didn't get it then, it was kind of clear they weren't going to bother.
I mean, since you went to pod before Misery Mire, I would argue that it would have actually been better to grab those silvers. That would have saved a little bit of time on the Gauntlet and the Vidi fight.
Ninban getting a nice double on the first cycle of Aga 2. Oh, and a triple there, I'm pretty sure.
Ooh,
Yep.
yep.
So 2, 3, 1.
Take me away, birdie. Whee! Ooh, Ninban using a pretty cool MSU pack.
And he's apparently going to hold a, parade of all of his monsters again.
Silly cannon. Tricks are for kids. Very clean first two phases. Getting into the third.
Yeah, the Butter Sword isn't necessarily faster on Ganon, but it is, much easier.
Oh yeah. You don't have to time the sword strikes, you just wail on him until he's dead.
Now, it does not get the torch glitch. That half magic will be good, but may still end up using the lamp for some of it. Or did he get it? Okay, I've never actually seen it be successful, but not. I also don't recognize this pack. What is this music from?
I have no clue, but it sounds awesome.
He's getting a little low on magic, but I think Ganon is low on health.
Yep, I think he is just one more swipe away.
And you're correct.
And there goes the big pig. Oh yeah, that's definitely Golden Sun.
I have not played that in a very long time, so Ninban just needs to cross the bridge here and finishes with an official time on racetime.gg of 1 hour 17 minutes even. That's 102 once you take out the 15 minutes for the study period.
Noise. Yeah, that was funny. I couldn't recognize it at first, but that victory fanfare, I definitely remember that.
And we are joined by Ninban, today's winner. GG.
Thank you.
How'd you feel about that particular seed?
It was nice.
Interesting, other than maybe the couple required pendant ball skills.
Yeah, those were funny, and they were both lost. So, but it was a fun seed. I think it's the first spoiler haze I do. It's the first spoiler seed I do since the last tournament. So I had a little trouble at the beginning because I thought brewery was the back of the bar in Kakariko. So when it didn't have the hood shot, I was okay, that's in the dark world.
Oh yeah, it's.
But it didn't change my holding much, so it was okay.
Yeah, that would have been a little awkward if you had been counting on having the hook shot before Dark World access, I guess.
Yeah, I just thought, yeah, it's in CAC, so I get it, but I didn't need it until like way late in the seed anyway.
Ain't better late than never.
Yep.
And I gotta ask, what MSU pack were you using?
Tales of Symphonia.
Ah,
on GameCube.
okay.
Yeah.
Definitely should have recognized that when I played that game a long time ago.
I should do a shout out to the author of the MSU pack, but I forgot who it is. So just check out the list of MSU packs and shout out to that author.
Jen making her tower climb here. So I don't really. I mean, both of you routed this pretty similarly. Were there any, close calls on the routing that you had? Were you thinking about maybe getting the silver arrows off Catfish at all, or anything like that? Doing Swamp a little earlier for the sword and not picking up one of the others?
The swords were pretty much all on the way, and there was even one on the boss of Swamp. And also, no, I didn't really want to take the silver arrows on Catfish. I took note of it, but as I did the final version of my HUD, I just went, nah, it's not necessary. I have Border Sword anyway, and I have at least Tempered in Mizahimire, so if I was going to go like Master Sword in Mizahimire, maybe I'd have picked them up because it would make the boss way faster. And even then, it would have made the boss faster, but I don't think it was worth the trek to go there.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think it's probably pretty close one way or the other. But I was just wondering if you'd actually thought it over. It does sound like you did.
Yeah.
Did see you set up that health refill at the top of GT off of heart pieces as well. That was really nice.
Yeah. That was planned, all according to Keikaku. And wow, that Moldor.
What is Moldor doing?
Well,
Oh my god, that mold armor.
to get it on start, Jen would have to go in the right side. Because there are points in its RNG pattern that it tries to chase after Link, and well, if you stick to the lower left like Jen did, he hits it pretty often.
Oh man, I gotta clip that. That was just perfect.
Well, she murders him for revenge, heading towards Agatu. But yeah, so is there any other thoughts you have on the seed? Any particular method you have of planning seeds out, or anything you want to share?
Well, I go pretty raw in planning the seeds out. I just search for what items I need and I take note of them, and then I just sort them in order of the route I will be doing. And I do the sorting process for 10 minutes because I just rearrange. Okay, this row will go here, this row will go here, and then I just make my route out of that. So I don't really have any method. I did begin by searching where are the boots and where are the swords, so I can at least know what kind of power will I have. If I'm going to be fighter sword for most of the seed, then I'm more interested in getting bottles or powder or even armor. But in that case, the swords were all pretty free and the armor were pretty free as well, so I didn't have to worry much about that.
Yeah, the boots were also very early in the seed, for one.
Yes, and it held really nice into Kakariko too. And just a shame that I lost 15 seconds at the start because I I just did my normal opening of going to Sank first. But That's what happens.
Oh, did you do a save and quit right at the start?
Yeah. Oh no! This is spoiler. No, I want to go maze game first. So I went back to lanes. But yeah.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Still worth rerouting there to grab those boots right away.
Yeah. And I had planned my first bombs to be from the bush cab just before Minimal Dawn, but the Popo in Eastern just gave me a lot of bombs anyway.
Yeah, the bombs were kind of generous in this seed with both the tree pull and bush crab giving them out.
Yes, and like the Popo enemy group was like it's one of the most common enemy group in the game, and it just dished out all the bombs. So.
Jenn takes an unfortunate death there, bonking off the wall into some fire bats, but gets another try at Ganon with more than 2 hearts, so this one will hopefully go a little nicer for her. Mr. Scrub Ninja Tuna, do you have any questions?
How did you get so good?
I just played too much. I've been playing since 2017, I think, summer of 2017.
Got it. So I just got to devote the next 3 years to playing nothing but Link to the Past.
Yeah. I don't recommend it. It helped me though. I was in a dark period, so it helped me. And now I just continue for the fun of it.
Well, that's the nice thing about this community is it kind of helps build some companionship between something that people like.
Jenn doing the Silverless Ganon phase 4 here. Narrowly avoids a Ganon hug there.
Yeah, so I want to shout out that both the Mire Shed and the Hoodshot Cave had the Mizahimire and Totorohawk medallions.
Yeah, we were mentioning that earlier, that it's just like, well, okay, that's super secure, putting the key right there.
Yeah, whichever one of Ganon's minions decided to hide those keys did not do a great job of it.
Yeah, and in some ways the key to Eastern was also right outside, with the first bow being in Sasrala's hut.
Yeah.
Ooh, takes another fire bat death. Oof. That's gotta sting.
Yeah, that one hurts a little. Gonna just go it again. Still has 3/4 of the bar of half magic, so should be okay here.
So I just realized that minimizing my emulator made the credits go at a very slow rate. So gonna try to keep it up.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering why the credits are
hadn't
being
looked
like
at
this.
that, but that is kind of funny.
I think my computer is just barely strong enough to do SNES simulation. It's not really a gaming computer I have right now.
1 heart here.
Nah, I'm gonna blame it on the items. And the game's like, wait, you can't possibly finish with less than 40 finds.
Oh, that was a lot more than 40.
I'm gonna guess 51.
For collection rate, it's gonna be higher than that, I think.
All right, 52.
I'm gonna go with 65. Gets the torch glitch again. We'll have to be a little cautious here. Cannot take a hit.
Let's go, Jen.
she's halfway there. That was the 6th hit. Requires 12 with either tempered or gold sword spins. I do not believe that was a connection, but that was, so that's going to be the 8th one.
Ooh, that was a very close bet.
Yeah. 2 more hits, I believe. And
Just
should
take it
be
nice
the
and
last
slow.
one. And there it is.
Yeah.
So get your GGs in chat for literallyJenn. Finishes up with an official time of 1 hour, 29 minutes, 26 seconds. So that's 1 hour, 14 minutes, 26 seconds when you take out the 15 minutes of study time. Very nicely done on both sides. Let's see if literallyJenn wants to join us for an interview as well. Okay, Jen is going to pass on it. Doesn't have a mic set up, which is totally fine. So in that case, any last comments on the seat on your side, Ninban?
Not really. Thank you to both of you for commentating this race. It was a fun one. And thank you to the tracker. I don't know who it was. Let me just type something in chat. And and thanks to Aquado tracking this. And see you next time.
All right. So we do have a couple more races left in week 1 before we get going to week 2. They're both tonight at 7:15 on SpeedGaming 3. It's going to be Sir Link-A-Lot versus Oace 28. And then maybe broadcast, maybe not. We have Verts 505 versus F. Coughlin. Some guy you might have heard of that has something to do with the randomizer at 9:45 p.m. Shout out to both our runners again and our tracker ARC, as well as my co-com today, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. Thank you for coming in here. And I'll let you have any last words here.
Be safe, enjoy Link to the Past, and keep on running. Bye, everybody.
Right.